Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling review series for the 9th of April, 1994, and ultimately, it's rare to find something from this era. As I said, mix and match with superstars. I got a few more of these in the can, and hopefully going to find a couple more this weekend. But 94 is rare. The show finished up as a first run show in late 95, early 96. They do a little more with main matches here. I think it's sagging ratings affecting things. Anyway, IRS and Coco, where I did not realize in my memory that Coco was still a member of the World Wrestling Federation in 94. I thought he left in 93. He eventually does leave because of a issue with an office staffer in an international tour. Anyway, he might have still been around for a while. IRS with a big body slam. IRS in April of 94, the Million Dollar Corporation starting up around this time. And I'd say within a couple of months anyway, so maybe there's an alliance there. IRS goes to the outside, comes back in, trips up good old Coco. Coco still wearing the high energy checkered flag pants and such, but IRS trying to keep his man down. We do see that Coco gets a near fall with a sunset flip among other maneuvers. And IRS tries to go to work on the leg of Coco. Doesn't go very well. Neckbreaker by Coco, and away we go. Coco actually looks stronger in the match than IRS does. Can't believe they give them almost, 8 or 9 minutes here. Match is super simple. And we actually see IRS with a submission style victory, almost an STF type maneuver. And Coco has passed out. IRS gets a submission victory. I don't know that I'd seen him get one of those before. We get some hype for upcoming WrestleMania returns and WrestleMania Revenge tours. IRS going to be on those shows, as well as Sparky Plug and Jeff Jarrett going to be there. Luna and Alundra Blaze will square off. Both members of the Quebecers and Johnny Polo are going to be there, facing off against the Steiners. And Diesel and Razor Ramon going to be there. Shawn Michaels in action as well. Lots of action at both the Nassau Coliseum and the Madison Square Garden within a couple of weeks of this particular show. They don't do as long promos. They kind of cut the promos a little shorter there. Then we are shown a highlight package from Bob Sparkplug Holly and Jeff Jarrett earlier in the previous week. They had wrestled each other at that time, and Jarrett jumps him from behind in this rematch. Jarrett, of course, here, new in the World Wrestling Federation by a couple of months. He'd done some stuff in late 93, but I don't know that he really had a role until early 94. Of course, Jeff Jarrett starting in 86, working for his father, Jerry, from 86 till about 92, 93, 94. Had not found national prominence, and then, of course, was nationally prominent for a whole lot of years. Anyway, Jarrett sends Sparky Plug, Bob Sparkplug Holly at the time, who was dueling as a race car driver, into the buckle and into the steel post on the outside as well. And Jarrett goes to town on good old Thurman Sparky Plug. I don't really know where they were going with that character. I mean, at this point, everybody had a kind of a gimmicked character. Jarrett slows the match down quite a bit. Reverse chin lock, tries to get more out of that than perhaps a crowd in 1994 wanted to see. Jarrett does hit a nice leaping elbow/forearm smash to the back of the neck of the race car driver from the second rope. Goes back to the top. I think Jarrett here is arguably in the best shape of his career. I also liked Jarrett during this 94-95 run probably more than I ever did. By the time he went to WCW in 96, I thought the bloom was off the rose, and I never really connected with him again. I love his early stuff. I love his Memphis stuff. Looking forward to covering that here on the channel. But needless to say, this is about the time that I think Jeff Jarrett was at his best, and I know a lot of people will disagree with that. Speaking of disagree, the wonder of a Bob Holly dropkick, a guy who, if you listen to him at the time, was thinking about leaving pro wrestling, going back to stock car racing and a regular job more traditionally. Goes to the top rope here with Jarrett and manages to miss what I assume was a big splash of some sort. And Jarrett again beats him down. Again, these matches much longer. And you see a interference from Dink, otherwise known as Tiger Jackson, due to the cheating ways of Jarrett. Dink interfering. Jarrett and Doink have a feud at the time. Jarrett tries to use the ropes to get a pin. Dink interferes with that. And the reversal of that is there. Then we go back and we see a little bit of stuff from Monday Night Raw. Specifically the issues with Johnny Polo and the Steiners in the Quebec City match. Lou Albano is there. Head Shrinkers are challenging the Quebecers. I think the Quebecers are 2 times champions here. When I do early Raws, which I will eventually do, the goal here is to have literally tens of thousands of audios for you to check out. Whole bunches of stuff. But anyway, trying to set up the Head Shrinkers, Samu and Fatu, and Afa as baby faces here. I remember going to a house show in, I believe it was August of 94, and it was the night before the Head Shrinkers won the tag team championships. And I remember me being a young kid, probably 12, 13, something like that, 11 to 13 anyway, and having these drunk guys hurl swear words at Shawn Michaels all night long. It was kind of interesting. One of them got kicked out because he tried to jump the rail and grab The Undertaker, which was also interesting. Anyway, big back body drop by one of the Head Shrinkers. Hard to tell them apart. Interesting that they use the top rope Doomsday device. I don't know that I've ever seen the Head Shrinkers do that, but probably some sort of anger over the loss of LOD, Animal and Hawk, and very rare move there to see them do. But then we go to the Heartbreak Hotel, which was the interview segment of the time. Shawn Michaels, of course, having that. If you've never seen it before, it's campy, it's Vegas lights, it's a heart-shaped bed. It's Shawn Michaels and Diesel. Bret Hart's brought out there. He is your world champion once again, coming off of WrestleMania. Shawn needling him about Owen Hart defeating him at WrestleMania is the crux of the interview here. Bret says it was one lucky win. Good for his brother, but it was one lucky win. It won't happen again. They're going to fight again and whatever have you. Diesel kind of just hanging out in the corner, learning how to, I guess, interact with a crowd, for lack of a better term. Bret takes a shot at Hogan indirectly. Doesn't mention him by name, but basically says he's going to be a fighting champion unlike other people. Yokozuna in the back room area, getting ready for a match, and Jim Cornette pumping him up like he's $1 million. Oddly enough, we see a thing that they did at the time, which is a pretty big deal, which is fans, random people, were given the opportunity to be ring announcers, guest managers, and the like, trying to make it a more interactive experience. This is a really cool thing. Anyway, really cool match here as the 1-2-3 Kid, otherwise known as Sean Waltman, who is still in the middle of his babyface run, against Chris Hamrick, who later becomes part of ECW. Really good match here if you like high-flying stuff from the mid-90s, and Henrik actually goes flying outside the ring during this match in a really dangerous spot. If you've never seen this before, the agility of Waltman, a huge thing, and the spot where Henrik goes through the ropes only about maybe 60 to 90 seconds into the match, and he goes sailing through that middle rope like he just got kicked into the middle of next week. The kid hits a dive over the top, trying to give himself some offense, but at the same time trying to give Hamrick a chance to recover. Just a really good match if you're into that style, kind of a Japanese style in short bursts. 1-2-3 Kid again. I loved him 90, even his global stuff. So 91, 92. Through leaving the WWF in 96, was not a fan of his stuff. With the NWO and beyond. I did like him years later, but that was just more nostalgia. But again, it's weird. To me, when guys went to WCW, they lost a step, and I know a lot of people feel differently and are nostalgia for the Monday Night Wars, but that's not me. Anyway, overhead suplex and a inverted, I guess you'd say a stretch muffler type maneuver. Submission by the 1-2-3 Kid, which submission from the Kid's a pretty big deal at the time. They do a little mini hype for upcoming house shows again. They've done that once before. Enhancement talent is given an opportunity to face Yokozuna, not an opportunity I would want Yoko. At this point, right after WrestleMania 10, losing the championship a second time. Slowly starts to fade in importance. He fades by the end of the year anyway. So he's got maybe 6 more months left to being a major guy. But even here, a headbutt, a couple of punches, and the bonsai butt drop, and there we go. Away we go. Fuji and Jim Cornette out there with him, and it is bowling shoe ugly, to borrow a line from Jim Ross, and that will close us for today. So we'll be back with more of these right after this.